off for a drive, going for a drive. We're Bob and Jen, and along with our daughter and our dog Ted, we're planning on moving to California from Vancouver, BC, Canada. But there are a lot of moving parts to make this happen. So as we document our journey, we'll be sharing what we learn along the way. Follow along, get to know us, have a laugh, and see if we ever actually make it to California. We're California dreaming, but until we get there, we are California streaming. Okay, folks, here we go. So I'm trying to set up a new, method of doing things. Clamp this baby down. There we go. Yeah, that should be good. I want to kind of start to get into a little bit of a pattern and making sure that you guys get some good content. And so part of that is just, even as I'm going out and running around, because, I'm always out of the house going grocery shopping and things like that. Today, however, I'm taking a kind of a personal day for the afternoon. Today is April 14th, and it is my mom's birthday. But instead of taking her cake, I'm going to the cemetery. My mom died almost 9 years ago. It'll be 9 years this summer. Yeah, it still sucks. It's still really hard for me. And so one of the things that I've honestly had to consider is, like, what do I do about moving to California? These are the things that people don't think about. Like, my mom is in a cemetery here. I won't be able to visit her. Now, the thing is, although at first it really shook me to think that, it's actually okay, because I'm a firm believer in she's not there, she's not in the ground. It might be her ashes. And I love the headstone that we got her. And yeah, I said ashes and headstone because where I have her is in a really great little place where you can scatter the ashes but still have headstones. So it's a bit more naturey and private and beautiful in the outdoors, because Mom loved being outside, and this spot that I have for her is actually really perfect too because it's slightly in the shade. And Mom loved the sun, but she didn't want to be too hot in the sun, so I got some shade. And so I'm really proud of the place that I chose for her. And unfortunately, she never got to see it. She didn't know where I was putting her before she died. So anyway, I have this wonderful spot that I absolutely love for her. But I know she's not there. And so once I kind of got a little bit more comfortable with that, then it was like, yeah, okay, we can move. Having said that, though, here's something else people don't think about. Excuse me, my voice is cracking today. You'd think I'm going through puberty or something. So another thing that people don't think about is, not only are you going to have to leave your living, but you're going to have to leave your dead. And I didn't think I wanted to keep any of my mom's ashes out of the ground. Yeah. So kind of somewhat regretting that little decision, because now when we do move away, it's not like I can just take some dirt. I mean, I can take some dirt if they let me, but I don't know for sure that's going to have my mom's ashes in it. I mean, they've all decomposed by now anyway. Gruesome. But hey, that's real life with me. So, Now, I do have a brother who does not live around here and did retain some ashes. We were able to keep a little bit out for him and get them shipped separately, it's a whole thing too. If you've never done that, shipping remains is very special and different as well. We had to do that. So I wonder if there's an opportunity for me to get some of my brothers. Oh my God. They've totally redone this section. I haven't been here in a few months. Okay. Anyway, that's all right. I'm not panicking. You're panicking. I'm just going to kind of turn around here and do a little ee-wee. I could actually drive through the cemetery now and be closer to where she is. Whereas before, I had to walk because of the cremation section that she's in. Anyway, so I might be able to get like a little bit from my brother's if he takes it to a funeral home near him and gets them to open it and divvy it up. So I think I'm gonna do that. The only problem is my brother's a bit of a hermit and doesn't like to leave the house and like talk to people if he doesn't have to, other than for his work. So that might take some convincing. Anyway, I'm gonna go say hi and happy birthday to my mom, even though she already knows how much I love her, and I'll be back. So I'm at the cemetery, and this has all been recently redone in this section here. So that's why it kind of floored me, and I'll show you the other side. Yeah, so these gates here and all this was not here the last time. I mean, obviously they've done a fair bit of work in a moderate amount of time. This was all trees and they had to lay new grass and stuff, because it's funny, like it's just like real estate wherein there's not enough, you know? So they have to make more space. So I do want to be respectful and mindful of the situation and the area and all that. I will show you, I've got my blanket to sit on, my Kleenexes to cry in, and I'll find the little alcove. There's Mommy's spot. I'll go find Mommy's alcove and then I'll say a goodbye for now. So just maintaining some privacy here. I'm not going to show you which one is hers, but this is her spot. So it's beautiful. There's trees, and the sun also peeks through when there's sun, but unfortunately, just as I left the house, these clouds came out. But that's okay. All right, talk to you again. Alrighty, so back on the road. It was a nice, peaceful little visit, albeit a little cold today. So it was only hitting about 12, I think. And so in the shade and in the wind, it's a feeling colder than that. So yeah, I mean, just my personal beliefs. I believe that Mom's, you know, a series of atoms in my universe and following me around and always with me. That's the scientist in me. And, you know, I'm not quite religious. I'm spiritual, but not quite religious. So regardless, I digress. It was a good little visit. The only thing is, her plant was missing. Now, I bought her a fake poinsettia, white. It was lovely. And I put a big rock in the bottom of it so it wouldn't blow away, and it's missing. So that means either someone took it, which would be really bad. Who does that at a cemetery? Or perhaps it was damaged through wind and rain and whatever over the winter time, because honestly, I haven't been there in a few months. So there's that possibility as well. So I've just made a note to do a few things, and I want to know what you folks, those of you who have your loved ones in places where you can plant flowers, or I guess you can just tell me anyway if you plant flowers. What's a good perennial that you can put in a shady, mid-temperate weather like Vancouver? Because I'd love to put some bulbs in, but not have to replant them every year because I'm lazy. I'm not lazy, I'm super busy. Well, I'm a bit of both, I guess. So, and I'm not a good gardener by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, let me know in the comments, please. I'm also going to try and find, I actually took a couple pictures of one of the ones near Mom because they had some really nice fake hydrangeas. They looked like kind of like what you might get at Michael's, but maybe a little bit nicer. I'm gonna see what Michael's has for getting like a good fake hydrangea or something, and then really weigh that baby down, maybe buy an actual pot for it, because the fake poinsettia was in just kind of the wrapping, cellophane-y type wrapping, and a cheap green pot. Just cheap plastic green pot. And like I said, I put a rock in the bottom so it wouldn't like blow away and stuff, but I don't know, evidently that, I don't know if that worked or not. Because then also another possibility is that the gardener thought since it's after Christmas it was trash. I don't know. Because they obviously have people who keep up the grounds. I would hope that he wouldn't think it's trash. But anyway, so now I'm out for a drive. I'm going to one of my favorite parks to go for a nice little walk, get some exercise in, me time, listen to my tunes. Where we live, it's very roady, very hilly, so I drive a few minutes to one of my favorite parks. But of course, I'm suffering through the traffic of it being near the end of the school day, so that sucks. I guess that's about it for now. Going for a drive, going for a walk after I go for a drive. The hair in my mouth. Okay, bye. All right, hello friends. So maybe you can see by my rosy cheeks that I just got from my walk. It was a nice brisk 35 minutes and I loved it. The sunshine is out. I can see cherry blossoms. That's like my favorite time. It's absolutely gorgeous out today. And so this again speaks to why we need to move to California, because there are so many days of the year that you could practically not pay me enough to go outside and walk for 30 minutes in the rain. I'm not one of those die-hard West Coasters, but I'm not one of those die-hard West Coasters who, you know, gotta get outside no matter what the weather. I hate going out in the rain unless it's like a really, really, really light spit. So you can't pay me enough to go for a 35-minute walk in the rain. What would be a dollar figure for that? Well, I mean, I would take $1,000 to go for a walk in the rain. I would. Yeah, you can pay me that. But anyway, I just had a great walk. And if you ever want to see, I can take you around and show you. This is why we need to be in California. One of the reasons. I need to be in weather where I can be outside all the time. I also want to have a back patio where I can work if I want. Just bring my laptop out and hang out there and work all year round. Ideally, I'd like to have a pool, but you know, might be getting ahead of myself there with those requests. One day we'll be there, one day, you know, but that's part of the the dream, isn't it? That's part of the allure. That's part of what we're working towards. That's why we're working hard at it. And it's another one of those moving parts too, because where are we going to go? Where are we going to end up? What kind of housing situation are we going to have? Don't know yet. Lots to figure out. Back home, back on the way home now. I was kind of thinking about going to Chipotle to pick up some dinner. But it's super early. It's like 4 o'clock, so I don't want to buy like early bird special and just have it sit at home and be gross. I don't know. I might see if I can convince the husband to go out and get Chipotle later, because the kid won't be home for dinner tonight. She's going out and doing her own thing with her buds. Maybe I can convince Bob to go for a drive and get some Chipotle like Aristotle. I think I'll cap it here. Bye!